Hi, I'm Rick, and this is a Talk Tonic session here at Retail Now 2024. I'm joined today by Mark Fraker, CTO of BlueStar. Mark, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
As we look around the room here at Retail Now, and as we do every year, what are people here for? They're here to see new technologies, search out new partnerships, and that kind of thing. Tell me what you're seeing in the world. I know there's at least one acronym that's everywhere, and that is AI. So let's start there and get your take on that.
I'm not sure you want to ask me about AI because I will have a different answer than most. AI is a crapshoot, number one, and I'll tell you why in a second. Number two is I'm no spring chicken, and when I went to college, it was called statistics. And then later on, when I had a software company, it was called Report Writer, whether it was Crystal Reports or Tableau or whatever. And then it became data analyst, then data scientist, and now it's all AI. How does somebody, let's say, coming to this show or going to the National Retail Federation show, and you've been down in the basement, 500 booths, they all have AI or 90% of them, how do you pick the right one to partner with? That's the real question. So I think the first thing you have to do is break it down into a niche. And when I say niche, I mean small. What happens inside a dressing room in a retail outlet? What's the AI that's in that dressing room to enhance the customer's experience? Or an electronic shelf label, or to deliver food to a table in a restaurant? That's where you have to break the AI down to that. And once you do that, then you can come to a show like this and interview the people within that niche of AI that you're looking for and see what they have to offer. So it's very tough for someone to say, hey, we're going to invest in AI. You got to get very niche on where you're going to invest that AI. It's a tricky place right now for everybody. Everybody's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think buzzwords are painful, right? When you're trying to search out a technology. And that's something that over the past few years, I've done some engagements with different AI companies, machine learning, business intelligence, those kind of things. And the thing that I've found is it's the same as any product in the world. You have to have a value and you have to have something that's actionable. If you can't turn that data into action that makes more profit or brings more customers in, and also being able to report on that and understand where are we since we've launched this as opposed to where we were before. So I think if you don't have actionable in there, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's where the rubber hits the road. And you have to be able to drive new revenue streams from that, or new customer experiences, enhanced customer experiences, really what I should say. So I agree entirely with you.
Switching topics a little bit, Mark, you're CTO of BlueStar. I've been a BlueStar customer in the past. I've been around you, been around your organization for many, many years, have watched it evolve a bit.
Thank you very much for your business.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Always been a huge fan. And we'll get to the people side of it in a little bit because that's a huge part of it. The thing I wanted to touch on is when I started selling hardware products and BlueStar was my distributor, it was very much, this is a printer and this is a terminal and this is what I need. And it's very simple. And then what I noticed throughout the years was a bigger push on marketing solutions, wrapping up bundles, bringing vendors together and that kind of thing. It seems to me that BlueStar went from being a distribution company with big warehouses and shipping boxes to being a technology company. So can you tell me how that evolved?
Well, Rick, I got to be truthful with you. If you turn around and look up there at our logo, it says BlueStar, your solution distributor. For 18 of the 24 years I've been at BlueStar, I was the VP of marketing. I probably added that tagline to our name back in 2005. So we always wanted to be more than just a hardware distributor, and we realized that early on. That's why we formed our ISV Connect and our Tech Connect programs to go out and embrace the solution side, the software, the services, even to get to SaaS models, eventually to finding hybrid SaaS and financing for the resellers. And I think where it's moving to is exactly what you said. It's now a platform play. So I know nobody's come up with the acronym PP yet, but I think that's a platform provider, and that's coming real soon after MSP and SP for solution provider and everything else. That's truly where BlueStar's distributor plays. It's making connections, making partnerships. It's why we had the in-a-box solutions, which we trademarked, in 2011 or 2010. And that was to build a bundle of hardware, software, services, and financing to make it easy for new people coming in particular markets, to get something that was proven to work out of the box and easy to install and gave them incremental new revenue streams.
It's clear over the years. You can see the difference, especially looking at other distributors who have kind of just stayed hardware companies. You guys have evolved with the times. The other thing I've noticed throughout the years that's clear at BlueStar is BlueStar is a people company, people first company, right? And it was devastating to hear of the loss of Steve, but I know his legacy lives on. When you look around and you talk to BlueStar people, that everything has percolated through that company for years, and it seems to me that it is as strong as it's ever been.
Well, he was the catalyst that drove that. When I had the fortune of introducing him into the Hall of Fame for RSPA yesterday, that was one of the points that I made in the speech. There was a DNA that was exactly that, customer oriented, right? It's people first. When you go out and hire, you don't hire skill first. You hire DNA first and then skill.
Yeah.
And the skill is a lot easier to give someone. DNA, you can't give it to them.
Yeah,
They got it or they don't, right?
I always used to say, hire for attitude, train for aptitude.
Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Exactly. So, from that standpoint, Steve was the catalyst on that. If you look at our tenure, we have some of the longest tenure at BlueStar. The average tenure of one of our sales folks anywhere in the world, over 10 years. That's sort of unheard of for a distributor. And, when you look at our board of directors, we all work for BlueStar, and the average tenure is over 21 years.
It's amazing.
So, yes, we're here because we love it and because it's the family type business. And you get that only from all of the folks in your organization participating together towards a common drive. And Steve made sure that we had a common drive and we executed it for him. And you're right, there's a legacy of his to carry on. And for Vicky and his daughters, all of us at BlueStar, we're going to carry that on as long as we possibly can.
Amazing. And all of us in the community will help out with that.
Thank you.
Incredible. That's something that, I'd like to touch on this side of the fence, is that a great part of the reason I'm at Tonic is due to leadership. You look at what Gary and Tyler, when they put their businesses together, they lead with EQ, right? They're emotional intelligence to the core. And
Right.
So that means a lot. But at the same point, when you look at two guys who had what were essentially payments businesses. Tyler did own VersaPOS, but that wasn't a huge piece of his business. But it's two payments businesses that came together, and we acquired what was Ordix and is now Tonic. But we're in a fundamental shift right now from what was sort of a payments and a sales company to a technology company. When we started this year, our product and development team had 18 people on it. We have 46 full-time resources on that as of now, and we'll be 60 by the end of the year.
Nice
So
growth.
I kind of feel like that's that same seismic shift of, distributor to really what I call BlueStar, a technology company, but a human company and all of that. I feel like we're pretty similar here.
Well, here's a similar story. So when we formed our ISV Connect program, it was for independent software vendors, right? And we gave them all these different value adds at all the pillars of the maturity of their company through the years. Suddenly, we started talking to some of the younger ISVs that were coming into the market, and it didn't matter if they were 2 steps out of their garage or 2 years out of their garage, right? When we say to them, "Are you an ISV?" They'd go, "What's that?" And you'd say, "It's an independent software vendor." And they'd go, "No, we're a tech company," right?
Right.
So we changed the name of our program to Tech Connect. And really, it was so that they would understand when they came into the program that it was meant for them. These value adds were for them and to use through their entire existence, even all the way into their M&A. So when someone wants to exit, we help with their M&A of how they're going to exit out of their tech company. And
Right.
not too many people, want to go do that. But you got to look at it this way. They were your partner for all of these years. And during that time, there was revenue streams for both of you together. So why not help them go to the next part of their life where they want to go? You help enough people get what they want out of life, you can find what you're looking for in life. So
Amen.
that's sort of the BlueStar philosophy right there.
Yeah, that's great. I think having been in the partner ecosystem on both sides for 25 years now, I can say that the partners that I look back on who were the best ones were the ones that it was a two-way street, and in some cases they gave more me than I gave them. I mean, I gave them revenue, but I didn't get I got a lot of wisdom, I got a lot of knowledge, and that's what's great about the RSPA.
It is. And, the tagline for RSPA is where the industry meets. I'm jealous. I wish I had thought up that for VARtech, but it truly is great to see all the people on the floor and the different folks of how they evolve and grow their own businesses, just like you folks, right? How people move between different companies in their career paths and how you have partnerships with them and relationships and the value that you get from those partnerships. Like you just said, it's not always monetary, right? It comes in a lot of different values.
Yeah.
And you have to look at that whole ecosystem to decide, is that the value that I'm looking for in the partnership? Not all of them work out, but
Yeah.
this is where you come to pick the right partners.
All right, Mark. So a topic here that I'm going to transition into is all of these big payments companies who want to tell you everything's free. Point of sale's free, hardware's free, everything's free. As we all know, nothing is free. And over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to tell people that Tonic is no longer free and it is now ad supported. So I'm going to give you the floor to talk a little bit about VARtech. But before I do, I want to say I've attended about 15 VARtechs in my life. You guys always put on the show of shows. It's always the most amazing thing. I remember sending my kids the video from last year's with the drone show at the end. Just incredible time. So I know we've got one coming up in about a month and a half. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about VARtech.
September 15th, 16th, I believe. I'm really close on those dates.
Got it.
But yes, it's once again, it was Steve's creation or idea, and we built on it over the years. The first one was in 1999, the first year that I came to BlueStar. And it was in our parking lot. And we had a roasted pig, and I even tended bar in the parking lot. It's grown to the point that we've had to move it out, and we've done them all over EMEA and all over the Americas. And we're probably at 40 or 40 more different VARtechs. The nice thing about them is it's different than any other show that's in the channel. One, the resellers, we give them a flight voucher to use towards their flights to come to the show. And then for the resellers and the ISVs and all of our customers, we pay for all their F&B and all of their lodging expenses as well. The vendors pay for their lodging expenses. But the reason we do that is, number one, it's one time a year, and they're global, where we can bring in our global customers and say, thanks, we appreciate you pledging your business to BlueStar. We know you have options to pledge your business. We appreciate what portion you have given to us. But the other thing is to take technology across all verticals. So transportation, logistics, warehousing, medical, healthcare, retail, hospitality, hotels and lodging, to even, government, and say, here's what we're seeing. Here are the solutions that we vetted that we feel are good. Here's our hardware vendors that are supporting this. And we have a trade show floor, much like what we have here at RSPA, and we have the classroom portion. But you're right, we do put a spin on it to some degree. We never open up without something different. We want to surprise you, whether it's having elephants in a parade, if it is bringing a sea lion up on stage with me, or a pig or whatever. We do something different to surprise everybody. When we hire keynote speakers, we don't hire people who come in and say, this is how you sell, right? Everybody that's in that room, they get up every morning, they want to go to work. You don't have to motivate those people. But what is entertaining to them is to hear stories from people who don't have the same lives as them, but have had a very unique life. So take the Mannings, Peyton, his father, and his brother. We had the father come, Archie, and we said to Archie, don't try and tie this back into BlueStar about We want to hear how you got the snot knocked out of you and what they said to you when they lifted you up off the ground. And what kind of wife do you have that you raised 3 incredible football players and 2 of them going into the pros? That's what they want to hear.
Right.
Right. And so we
More
try and put
entertainment.
that spin on. And you're right. We close out, we put a spin on it as well, whether it's drones or some other activities. It's meant to be fun. We all work hard, and it's a lot of education, but it's a lot of partnering too. So it's different. It's
Yep.
enjoyable. Maybe it's time to change it up a little bit. Don't know. It's been, 30 years almost. So we'll look
Excellent.
at it.
I'm excited to attend. I can't wait to be there.
Okay.
It's always a good time. Well, as we wrap it up here today, Mark, I want to say it's my honor to have gotten to know you through the industry, have seen you lead the RSPA, lead BlueStar. It's great to have you here today.
Well, thank you very much. And as always, it's a pleasure to sit down and talk to you. I love exchanging ideas of what you're hearing, what you're seeing. You're one of the creative people. I probably learn more from you than you do from me, for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you,
Thank you
Mark.
very much.